Yes, my package has arrived. And everyone knows the best thing you can do when a new package arrives is go for the bubble wrap. Hello, I'm back. I'm Rex Rockefeller, Steve. I'm here to talk about everything Doctor Who and apologise for my tardiness. I know it's been a minute. I apologise. I'm a human with adult things to do and they have got a bit in the way. I do admit it ran away from me a bit. But I'm back. I'm not going to do a Dalek episode right now, but there is some coming. I promise you that. We're going to try and catch up with people. I know lots of people are way ahead of me in terms of the Dalek build. But hey, we can all go at our own speed. It doesn't make it any less enjoyable. I will be back with more Dalek very, very soon, I promise you. In the meantime, I've got a cup of tea in my Doctor Who mug and a box from certain character options to open that's been sat on the shelf behind me for approximately 2 weeks. I've been itching to get to it, holding off so that everyone can see it at the same time as me. It came as a surprise. I ordered it immediately because that's what happens. And here it is. I'm ready. So before we get to all of that, I just want to have a little overview of the end of season 2 because I know I only got halfway through the episode reviews. I won't go into too much detail, but I have got some notes. I'm going to just quickly refer to those, give you a little overview of what my thoughts on the series as a whole, and then we'll get straight into the unboxing. Not forgetting the cup of tea. The Doctor Who mug, by the way. Lovely job. So, we got up to Lucky Day at the end of my last episode review. The next story up was The Story and the Engine. This is a story set in Nigeria. I thought this was a wonderful cast, a wonderful story. Took me a couple of watches just to make sure I got all the detail and figured out what was going on, where the huge spider came from, things like that. But I got there. I thought it was brilliant. It was fun. It was energetic. Wonderful use of and wonderful return for Joe Martin, the fugitive Doctor. A little cameo appearance there. I thought that was brilliant. Put a real smile on my face. Great use of a little flashback of a previous life, unknown to us on screen, obviously. But yeah, great story. Thoroughly enjoyed it. A highlight of the series. Yeah, definitely. Next up, we had the Interstellar Song Contest, broadcast the same night as the European Song Contest. I watched them both. I enjoyed them both. I thought the Interstellar Song Contest was good fun. Always happy to see Rylan on screen. He always makes me chuckle. It had a vibe of a classic Doctor Who story. I always enjoy that. Nice simple setup. Land on a craft. Something's wrong. Doctor goes and saves the day. But of course, the spin at the end, the reveal of Anita Dobson and Archie Punjabi, the bi-generation of the Rani. Wonderful to see the Rani back. Everyone's been talking about the Rani since David Tennant's era, when we thought she might pop up there. But brilliant to see her back. Always a character to have in Doctor Who. Much more malicious. No sympathy for anything. Only looking out for herself. But absolutely genius with it. And some brilliant one-liners on the way in the rest of the season. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed. Great to see the return of the Rani. Then, of course, we went on to Wish World, the first half of the finale, followed by the Reality War. I mean, big finale. It's Russell T Davies's niche, right? Or did he get it slightly wrong? Now, I've watched it a couple of times. Obviously, that's just my habits. For the most part, I thought the finale as a whole was really great, really good fun, obviously really well acted. The cast is fantastic. Maybe there were some bits that could have been done a bit better. Some people have argued that maybe some things weren't tied up as well as they could have been. I don't know. I mean, each to their own. I was excited to see Omega. I was excited to see the Rani. I was excited to see everything and see how everything tied together at the end, or the possible end at that point, of Ncuti Gatwa's run. I really enjoyed it as a whole. I thought the Rani was brilliant. Archie Punjabi and Anita Dobson were both magic on screen together. They bounced off each other really well. Obviously, the scenery and the CGI were all brilliant. Ncuti Gatwa was fantastic. I would have liked to have seen more of Omega. Maybe that CGI monster is not the way I might have portrayed him on screen. Lots of people love the classic era Omega. It would have been nice to see a nod to that. There was a small nod to the 1973 actor Stephen Thorne, who originally played Omega. His voice was actually used just at the end of Wish World as Omega was announced to the universe by the Rani. So they'd used a clip of his voice and thrown that in there as a little nod to the original actor. So that was really nice. But a big grey monster, maybe a bit disappointing. I wanted a bit more drama, a bit more Gallifreyan pomp and circumstance, maybe, rather than a monster. But hey, Ncuti came along, saved the day brilliantly, and we moved on to the surprise, or maybe not so surprise, after all the media rumours, regeneration of Ncuti Gatwa. Now, question one, no more bi-generation? Has Wish World solved the bi-generation, regeneration swap about that's been going on for the last couple of years? Are we just getting the one Doctor? There doesn't seem to be any more Ncuti. And of course, the face we all waited to see at the end, Miss Billie Piper. I mean, I didn't believe the rumours. Hands up, I did not believe the rumours that she would be coming back. Maybe Russell's hanging on to the past a little bit too much, but I am optimistic. Russell is a great showrunner. I'm optimistic that he will come up with some spectacular resolution to why Billie Piper has suddenly, or seemed to have become, the next incarnation of the Doctor. Now obviously, when the cameras stopped, they were still regenerating, so nobody knows. I'm not even sure Russell knows at this point. Maybe somebody out there knows, but it's certainly not going to be us for a very long time. And that's fine. It builds the suspension. It makes me want to watch the next series. That's what television's all about. It's pulling me back in, and I love it. So whether or not Billie is the next Doctor, I just can't wait to see what happens next. You know, if it's Billie, I think it'll work. If it's not Billie, I think it'll work. Bring it on. Spectacular stuff. Not everyone agrees with me, I realise, and, you know, each to their own. There were good bits and bad bits. For me, as a whole, I thought Season 2 stepped it up a gear from Season 1. I thoroughly enjoyed, particularly the first half of Season 2. I thought it was fantastic storytelling. I thought there was some real stonker stories in there, in a good sense. The Well, absolutely fantastic. One of the best episodes of the modern run. Looks, I mean, what a fantastic use of artistry that was. You know, Mr. Ring-a-Ding was hand-drawn for that episode, and the dedication that went into that was fantastic, and it was great to see that on screen, and I think it worked fantastically well. I'm always intrigued to see what comes next. I don't want to hear just negatives. There are always going to be a couple of negatives. Kill the moon. But overall, thoroughly enjoyed season 2. Slightly gutted that we don't get another season of Ncuti Gatwa, and more disappointed that Ncuti never met the Daleks. Maybe it'll happen one day. Maybe he'll be back for a multi-doctor story, which, by the way, 13, hello, in the reality war, lovely surprise. Personally, don't hate me anyone, personally, Jodie Whittaker is my favourite incarnation of the Doctor to date. Slightly pipping Ncuti Gatwa, I have to say. Ncuti has been fantastic. The energy Ncuti Gatwa has brought to the role has been fantastic, and I think he's really going to be missed. Let's find out who's next. I'm really looking forward to it. New era, always exciting. Bring on more. At least tell us if there's going to be a Christmas special. Come on. I mean, that's just mean, not telling us anything like that. So, there we go. That's season 2. And in celebration, Alan has come to say hello. Alan, do you mind? Yep. I wasn't lying. His aerial bum intervening there. You can't stop him ever since that first appearance. Honestly, he's just a camera hog now. So there we go. That's season 2. I think it's about time we got to this here box from Character Options. Alan's causing chaos. Let's get to the unboxing, shall we? Right, after sorting Alan out, who's just gone crazy, let's get to this here box. Now, this came as a complete surprise. Well, not a complete surprise. I knew there were more figures coming and being released this year, but you never know when they're going to drop. So I had no idea this was coming. It happened to coincide with payday, so I got one quite early on. It's been sat on my shelf for about 3 weeks. I'm very excited to get into this and show you what it's all about. Let's get to it. And like television magic, here we are. That's right, folks. It's Dr. 14 with Beat the Meep, with changeable heads and changeable arms. This is great. It's great to have an alternate 14th. I thought there was only going to be the one. I thought it was going to be a one-off design, but we've got jacketless 14 and Beat the Meep from the Star Beast, of course, one of the 60th anniversary specials. I'm going to get into this box and show you what we're at now. And as if by magic, here we go. So, we've got the 14th Doctor with his little sonic screwdriver. No jacket. It's a great figure. It's part of the new range, so arms can come out as well as forward. He's fully articulated. His waist and his legs even can move side to side, as well as all the usual forward and backward. I'm very impressed. Looks great. Details great. You've got the tie. The sonic screwdriver's brilliant. It's great stuff. And then of course, we've got this dude. The Meep. Beep the Meep, to be exact. And here he is. Again, very well articulated. He's got the little bandage on his hand there. Very nice indeed. But of course, it's not that simple, is it? not with the meep. So we've got our interchangeable head. Great stuff. Just pops on and off. There we go. Both variations for you. Great to have a variation. And it also comes with extra hands. So I've got one holding the weapon there. I don't know if the camera will let you watch it. There's one hand holding the weapon, one just outstretched, and a couple for the other arm as well. Little clenched fist and a little hand to swap it over with. So lots of variations that you can play about with. Great to see. It should go very nicely on the shelf above me. These two make a great pairing and a great way of celebrating the 60th anniversary. A character originating from the comics, of course, made it onto screen, and now he's on the shelf behind me. Brilliant stuff. And as well as the figures, of course, the back of the packaging is also a diorama background. I mean, talk about getting your money's worth, guys. This is a great little set to add to the collection. I'm sure you'll see it on the shelves behind me very soon. Another splendid job, character options. Very happy with those indeed. To be fair, I think the collection could probably do with a full rearrange soon. It needs a bit of freshening up. It needs a bit of a dust. I'm sure my wife would agree. But that's a big job. As you can imagine, taking everything down, giving it a dust, rearranging, that's a day's worth of work. The next time I do it, I'll probably bring you guys along with me, so you can have a bit of a better look at what goes into it. It's not as simple as it might seem. There's some planning involved here. There's some big stuff on those shelves, as well as all the characters. Getting them all laid out in the perfect manner, it's a very complicated thing. Planning goes into this. The shelves are put in a certain way for this. So it's a big job, but it's on the agenda, and the next time I do it, you guys can come along with me. I'll probably shorten the video, otherwise we'll be there for about a day and a half. But yeah, in the meantime, it's been great to see you again. Thanks for coming along. Please don't give up on me. I do still exist, and there will be lots more content. More Dalek build will be coming. As I say, I'm going to do a few chunks at a time, so we're not just tiptoeing along. I'll get back on it, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks for coming back. It's great to see you guys again. Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.